What's up, everybody? I apologize if you can't see me that good. I'm back with another video. I do it every 6 months. Um, I'm just kind of this over me. This is my first mukbang. Uh, I said I'm doing mukbang. I'm out of town now, taking a little vacation from my everyday businesswoman life. So this the place I went to is backwards, but it's called Brahms in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I got the jalapeno pepper jack quarter-pound burger. I don't know how to do no edits or none of that. um, but I do hope to get to the point where dang, big Louise. This thing is big. Um, got my water. We got some mustard packet and a ketchup packet if I need it. This thing got pepper jack cheese, lettuce, tomato, onions. I ate it, and it's a quarter-pound. You see it? It's big. We gonna see. And I'm just gonna talk to y'all a little bit today and tell y'all what happened to me this evening. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Send me comments. I'm trying to get my name up on her. Follow the channel, okay? Um so yesterday was my daddy's birthday, and my daddy passed away like over 30 years ago. Okay. Um I had said I was gonna talk about him in a video or whatever. So I'm just gonna kind of make this the one uh while I'm mukbanging. And I'm gonna taste it first without no additional sauce or anything. Um so in honor of my uh angel father, he's an ancestor now. I'm gonna just talk about him a little bit. Introduce y'all to him, if you will, in honor of his remembrance. So now let's see what this talking about right quick. Mmm. It's good though. Mmm. I don't know if it's. I got me a napkin. Look, don't y'all hate when you watching those mukbangs and the people be having food all over their mouth? I be like, where is that napkin? Oh. um. So, oh, that's good, girl. Brahms. If you ever in Tulsa, Oklahoma, hit them up or whatever location, other locations they are, because they not in my city. I'm STL. It's a lot of stuff we don't have. So my daddy, um, they say I'm like him a lot. Oh yeah, and gotta have the water. I don't play. They say I'm a lot like him. They say I'm just like him, and they say I look like him. All these things. Of course, I always said I never could tell, and I never could see it in pictures or whatever. Um, I often wonder, like, how would it be if my daddy was still alive? Like on yesterday, his birthday, April the 6th, he would have been 75 years old. 75. That's a grandpa. Well, I'm almost old enough to be a grandma too. um. So yeah, my daddy was a great man. Um, to my knowledge, um, he was a preacher. We was born and raised in the church. He had Bible study with us, and y'all know this is the Truth Channel. Catch your truth. I tell the truth. I really am at the point in my life. I feel like I had enough of that. And if that sounds bad, I'm sorry. But how many times do we need to hear he died and he rose? Do you hear me? I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking none of that. Please don't think I am. But I think there's a time in our lives where we need to grow and we need to experience other things in this life that we are otherwise not accustomed to, not exposed to, for the better of our lives while we're here. Okay. I really don't want to get off into that tangent. We're not talking about that today, Star. But um, it just kind of brought that back to my talk based on, talking about my daddy or whatever, and him being a preacher. Um, I won't never forget the time my sister said, she said, "Well, I thought you was gonna be a preacher." I said, "I am. I'm just not the kind you are used to." Come on and tell them, Star. The truth preacher is what I am. And if you subscribe to this channel, you'll learn more about what I mean by that. Okay? You'll learn more about what I mean by that, more about me, more about my points of view, more about what our people need to hear, and more about keeping it real. Just plain and simple. Okay? If you like the video, hit the like button for me. Share it as well. Uh, so my daddy, he taught us all of that and everything growing up in the church. We was always the smart kids, and my daddy dressed down Stacy Adams and three-piece suits to church. And my mama was jazzy. We was that family. At the church. Um, we was in the choir, the kids choir. After that, we didn't stay in the choir though, so it must not have been for us as the kids. However, when I went to college, I was in the gospel choir. I joined the gospel choir, and I was the president of the gospel choir. So I like singing. That's one of my things, and it's ultimately another fun fact or another fact about Star that I'll share with you. I've always been scared to sing. Like I've been scared to sing. Like I think that stems from it being like a part of the inside of how I really feel. Sometimes when people sing, they pour out their heart and soul. And I think that's the part that I'm not really open to uh being that expressive to others. I'm a private person, if that makes sense. And I really think, and just right here and right now talking to you about it, uh that's it. Just being able to talk about it, I'm able to explain that that's what it is. I want to grow out of that though. I want to grow out of that. I believe I can. um because we're not getting any younger, Star. Okay. um so mm, this burger is good, burger. So when I come back to Tulsa, I know where I can get me a good old burger. They also have smash burger, We don't have that here. Del Taco. I mean, we don't have, when I say we don't have it here, we don't have it at home in my city, STL. We don't have Smash Burger. We don't got Del Taco no more. We used to have Del Taco and they closed all of them down. You talking about a fat girl hurt. Girl, I was so hurt because, listen, when I say I used to look forward to Tuesdays for Taco Tuesday, 3 tacos for $1, I was ready every Tuesday, honey. Okay, for a nice while. And Del Taco, they got other things too. I'm gonna challenge some other YouTubers when I do my Del Taco mukbang. Now I know Del Taco ain't in every city, but when you get a chance to go west, they all over there. It's one here in Tulsa. I think Oklahoma City got them. Uh, just do your research. But I really like Del Taco. I like Del Taco. I'm not a fan of fast food at all. I'm a cooker. And I prefer my mate to be a cooker as well. Did you hear what I said? Okay. Right. So if anybody raising your eyebrow to start, please, you must be a cooker. Okay. I said what I said. And believe me, it can definitely be reciprocated. Better ask somebody. It can be reciprocated. And not only can it be reciprocated, but when I say the food is I don't we're not finna get into that. We talking about my daddy. So yeah. Subscribe to my channel, y'all. And share it because I'm getting ready to start doing this more often, okay? Um, excuse me. So my daddy passed away. I was 12 years old. Um and this month I'll be what I'm gonna be. You thought I was gonna tell you. It ain't no big deal though. Um, like I said, I'm taking a little break. I am a funeral director. And so I stepped away from the business for a couple of days, so I can get a change of scenery. I've always wanted to come here to Tulsa, Oklahoma, uh, so that I can feel the energy and the spirit of the ancestors that were so harshly done, according to what we've been told historically, when they demolished the Black Wall Street. I went down there today. And I must say, I did feel something. I can't say what it was that I felt, but I did feel something. However, I do like the ambiance of this city. Um, I like to do that when I go to different cities. I like to see how the city feels, okay, as well as see how the city looks and if it feels welcoming. If I see myself there, if I would like to vacation there, build a dream home there, all those types of things. And of course, I love to travel and I love to uh, experience new things in life on every hand. I love to experience new things in life. So, with all of that being said, yeah, um, my dad, when we was growing up, we didn't travel much. Um, he took us to Mississippi. That's where he was from. And we went to Texas, where my mama was from. That's pretty much all we ever did when it came to vacation. Every summer, we was going to her hometown, my mama and my daddy's hometown, a couple of times. We mostly went to Texas. But I swear, I remember when we was on that long road trip, I was always like, dang, can we go somewhere else? I would always feel that way. And I still do now. That's why I always got my ass going somewhere different, just because that's what I like to do. Okay. And I'm going to say this, and I made a Facebook post. Follow me on Facebook too, Star Ellis, uh, Star Free Spirit Ellis. That's probably the one y'all need to go to. you know what I'm talking about. But Just stay with me, okay? And y'all know you will know what I'm talking about. But so yeah, that's what I like to do. Go different places. Um, I went to Las Vegas for the first time in 2018, and I've been hooked ever since. The west side of the country. Oh my goodness, I just am in love. Las Vegas, LA, all of that. Um, I'm a playwright as well, so I was trying to uh, do a few things when I was in LA last year specifically. Um, but it's more to come. I just put it like that, okay? Um, mm, and I don't want to keep on saying because I don't like when people do that. mm, that is a good old him. So my daddy, he had got sick when I was like, I probably was like 9 or 10. Um, his kidneys died or stopped working, I should say. Um, because he had high blood pressure and refused to take medication. He was that man. He was that person that didn't fuck with doctors, didn't fuck with hospitals. None of they didn't never want to fool with none of them, you know. And so his kidneys went kaput. Okay. That's why it's very important that we take care of ourselves. He passed away at the age that I am right now. He passed away at 43. Oh, I done told y'all my age. Oh well. um, but when his kidneys went out, he went on to dialysis or whatever, what have you. And I think he was on there 2 or 3 years, maybe something like that. It's kind of blurry for me. I was just a child, and um, a lot of the stuff is remembered based on what I heard people saying. Now, I was old enough to remember some stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to like those specifics and time frames and stuff like that, when it came to him and his illness, if you will. Uh, so he was on the dialysis, and I remember the night um, that he left us, me and my brother, because my brother was old enough to drive, so we had gone to get takeout. I want to say it was like on the weekend, like Friday, like the last weekday of school. Um, and so we had gone to a barbecue place. I do remember that. Went to a barbecue place, and when we pulled back up, it was an ambulance outside. And we was like, oh my God, we were scared or whatever. And so when we went in the house, they was putting him on a stretcher or whatever. And he was having a really hard time breathing. He was like almost gasping for air, like he couldn't hardly catch his breath or something. And so they went on ahead and took him to the emergency uh, at Christian. And that particular night, it was like almost 2 o'clock in the morning, because not when we got back to the house. That was probably like 9 something, maybe. Um, and so they went to the hospital, to the emergency, and my mama drove up there, and so we came up there as well. And so I'm saying we was up there at the emergency room till like 2 something in the morning, because they ultimately was trying to send my daddy back home or whatever. So they were trying to send him home, but he was like, no. He was like, no, no, he was not having it. He did not want to come back home. And so let me tell y'all something. I truly believe that my daddy knew that was the end for him. Because first of all, he never liked hospitals. He never wanted to stay there. He never wanted to be around them. But this particular time, he did not want to leave. He wanted to stay in the hospital. I believe he knew, and he did not want to come home. and die in front of us. That's honestly what I believe. So they were saying it wasn't no more uh I was gonna say hotel, hospital rooms available. So they ended up taking him to the sister hospital, Christian, uh, that was on the other side of town. And so he went there. My mama told us to go back home. So remember, me and my brother had drove up there separate, and she did too. She told us to come back home, and she said they was gonna take him in an ambulance to the sister hospital, and then she would drive separately to the sister hospital as well. Speaking of sister, my sister was not around. She was at a sleepover that night. She was at a sleepover with her best friends in high school. I remember all of this, okay? And so she didn't have none, she wasn't around when all of this was going down or nothing like that. So 2 o'clock in the morning, my mama sent us home. She went there and we was in the bed, blah, 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 blah. So, um, 3 or 4 hours rolled by, 5:36 in the morning. My mama knocking on the door. My bedroom door. She knocked on my bedroom door. She said, I got something to tell you. She said, Daddy died last night. And so I didn't have no words. I literally did not have no words, literally. And I remember my brother was standing there as well in the doorway of my bedroom. And so when she said that and I didn't say nothing, my brother acted as if he was upset with me. He said, Daddy died and you don't got nothing to say. He was upset with me. Um, and to this day, I've never been that person that is, um, I guess, emotional, outwardly emotional. I should put it that way. Because don't get me wrong, I definitely have emotions, and I am not ashamed to express them or say how I feel to people who are important to me, people that I love. If the opportunity presents itself, I would definitely explain and communicate and or talk about how I feel about anything, whatever it is. Um, but I think in this particular time, as a 12-year-old child, um, nothing came from me. Uh, no tears, no questions, nothing. Uh, that particular night, and so what I remember after that is um, the later on that morning, my brother went and picked my sister up. Okay, so remember she was at a sleepover. So I remember him asking my mama before he left, should I tell her? Don't want me to say nothing or whatever? She said, no, don't tell her. Just bring her home. So, girl, why soon as they got back to, cause I stayed at home, and my mama was still at the house too. Why soon as he got back to the house with her, my sister. Soon as she walked in the door, she said, "Where's Dad?" Now, mind you, ain't nobody said nothing. I don't know if cause he could have been. My mama have a beautiful home, a 2-story home. He could have been upstairs, still in the bed, in the bathroom, anything. But for her to walk in the door and say, "Where is Dad?" It must have been the energy in the air or something. It had to be something in the air. Or I mean, you just don't never know what causes people to say and do the things that they do or say. But she said that, you know, and we didn't say nothing. Now my mama was upstairs. I remember this because I was downstairs where they come in the door from the garage. They came in and she saying that. Who was she talking to? Was she talking to me or was she talking to my brother? I don't know. All I know is I didn't say nothing to her either. I didn't have nothing to say, y'all. I swear I didn't. And so my mom was upstairs and she hollered down there. She said, "Tiff, come here, come here." From upstairs to downstairs loud enough for people to hear. She said, "Huh?" And she kept on saying it. Where's that? Where's that? Da da. And so I followed. Me and my brother followed up the steps into my mama bedroom, my mama and daddy bedroom. Um, she sat down. She sat on the bed, and she told her the same way she told me. Uh, Daddy died last night. Girl, that lady let out a loud. I ain't never heard nothing like that. She said, but it was kind of like a build up thing. You know how you watch movies, or not necessarily movies, or maybe some of you have experienced this in real life. I did, but I hadn't until then. But she was like, She said that like 2 or 3 times, and it escalated. Each time it escalated, and then that last one, wow. And I was like, oh, I still, I don't know if I was shot. I don't know what I was. I just don't. Even now, I don't know what I was. And I was 12 years old. So that was a horrible situation, I guess, that we encountered. I'm the youngest. I was 12. My sister was like 16 or 17. And then my brother, I think, was 18. Something like that. Um, we had a funeral and everything. Still no tears for me. You know, it was sad. But do you know, to the date, and I always have a hard time around Christmas. My daddy passed away on December the 23rd, 1990. Um, I always have a hard time around Christmas. Nobody knew, or still don't know probably until now. Y'all know. I always have a hard time around Christmas, and I've never verbalized it. That, and I believe that's why. And I try to like do things for myself around that time that comfort me, or that like some fun stuff. Um, you know, I had something pretty disheartening, almost heartbreaking, that happened to me in 2019. I think 2019, because I had attended an event someone invited me to, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy like painting and stuff like that. Um, and it happened to be like the day after when my daddy funeral was. The funeral was on the 28th. I remember that. Funeral was on the 28th. So that whole any like the 20th all the way to the new year, that whole 10-day stretch, 11 day, is I don't want to say I ain't myself, but it just I be I be battling. And that's probably a good way to put it. I I literally be battling. Nobody knows. Nobody asks me, because I'm that person that uh you know I don't, I guess, express it unless it comes up. Now, I'm not contradicting what I said before, I'm just saying that if it doesn't come up, you know, then I just try to move on with life, the best way I can, and try to enjoy life the best way I can. Um, but particularly this time, I had a pretty rough experience that night. End up losing someone who I thought was uh, a friend, but that's neither here nor there. But I was having a pretty rough time. Uh, she never knew it, you know. She never asked. She never even allowed me to express what happened, what I was even feeling. I kind of feel like um, in that case, then that was best for me, because anytime you have someone who is supposed to be a friend, of course they will let you, ex, you know, explain their side of some type of disagreement or whatever had transpired that night. But um, I don't want to get into that. But that's just something that I remember that connects to the hardship that I have every year around that time. And believe it or not, this friend, you would think that she could relate, because I think her mama died on the same day, my dad, same year and everything. Now, if it wasn't the same day, it was close, like within 1 or 2 days or whatever. Same year. So I know that was her mama that died. So, you know, and not that there's a different degree of pain, but I believe that there probably is. A young girl growing up without her mama, especially if they did have a close relationship, or, you know, she was a good mama and she just gone snatched from you, like my daddy was snatched from me. How can you not understand what I'm probably going through right now? And it's the same time, you know. Um, Again, I'm not trying to get into that. I'm talking about my daddy, but I just kind of tied that in. But um, anyhow, so that was it for my daddy. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable right now, so I'm probably gonna end the video. But that was just a little tidbit about my daddy. Y'all follow my channel. Um, Excuse me, I'm gonna come back a little bit more often. I'm gonna try to get uh, some training or whatever, so I can start doing the sound effects and stuff like that with my mukbang, and uh, some reactions and stuff like that. Because believe it or not, this hasn't been that type of video, but I've been told I'm very comical. I know I can say some funny stuff, because I done said some funny stuff to myself and bust out laughing. So y'all just get ready, okay? Um, Come here and catch your truth, because I'm gonna be throwing it at you from several different angles. Whether it's something you want to hear, whether it's something you don't want to hear, whether it's something you can relate to, or whether it's something you can tell somebody else. I'm throwing the truth, and I want you to catch it. That's if it's for you. It may not be for you, but it may be for somebody else. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna close it out. The conversation, and got me a little my head in a little place, and I'm gonna finish my burger now. I got talking. It's cold. I'm probably just gonna wrap it up, but take me a few little bites out of it. But y'all have a good night. Peace and love. Leave comments down below. Tell me if you have experienced uh, uh losing a loved one close to you, and how that was for you. Tell me about it. Um, tell me about that, and share the video, okay? All right, it's Star, uh, throwing the truth at you. I'm coming back later. with mukbangs, uh, reactions, and any other form of truth. Okay. This video was in honor of my deceased father, Reverend Charles Earl Ellis. Uh, April 6, 1947 to December 23rd, 2020. RIP. All right. Peace and love.